So I just wanted to have a quick follow-up of the professional development that I just completed the session on. There were some unforeseen circumstances this morning, and the PD had to be cut about 15 minutes short. So I wanted to go over some of the things that I cut from the PD. So one, you knew that the PD was longer, and two, you knew what it was supposed to look like based on the planning and the slides and everything that's been presented. I don't know if that just recorded because the volume was off. So just to recap, I wanted to do this follow-up video because there were some unforeseen circumstances on our campus this morning. So it cut my PD session time about 15 minutes. So I just wanted to discuss the few things that I had to take out in order to still fit it in the time allotted for multiple reasons. One, so that you can actually understand what all the PD was going to incorporate. Two, so that it flows with the PD planning and the pre-observation, post-observation, all of that. And then also, because it just would have extended the time period. So I'm going to share my screen as I am discussing the different things. Okay, here we go. So these were the slides that were shared. And then this math problem was posed to them with different manipulatives. I did have to take out some different things from this in order to, the time constraint. One of the things that I was planning to do was switch the manipulatives so that teachers could see how to incorporate using different manipulatives for the different things. That was one of the key takeaways that I was providing teachers. So I wanted to make sure I was able to model that for them. I also wanted to provide extension type manipulatives. So thinking about some of the geometry shapes where you couldn't create 4 legs, 2 legs as easily. So maybe a square has 4 sides represented 4 legs. So just some of those, how you can model pushing students to still use hands-on manipulatives when introducing concepts, even if they are higher thinking students, GT students, anything like that. Then I wanted to provide time for our teachers to share out. I tried to recap some of the things that teachers were saying, but I think it would have been more beneficial to allow more time for them to share out. But again, due to the time constraint, I was just trying to, here's what was said, here's what was going on. But I think it did take away from a couple meaningful moments. Another reason I wanted teachers to be able to share out, especially for this math problem, is so that they could see how students could then share out. If the students are able to demonstrate their understanding and their mastery of this, I wanted to be able to model that, but also while they were sharing, I wanted to be able to model like prompting and questions that could occur as the students were sharing to kind of scaffold and guide them. I think being able to model that for the teachers would have also been very beneficial and impactful. And I'm not saying that the way the PD went, it was not successful. The PD was very successful. The conversations were occurring. The teachers were doing exactly what I wanted them to do, as if they were the students to then take back and do. These are things that would have been done. I'm so sorry. That's just things that I had to take out because we had incidents this morning to where we were not able to start on time. Something else is when the teams came in. So we had kinder, first, and SLL there. And my intention was to have everybody mixed up. But again, because we were starting late, I really just had everyone come in, sit down, and let's get started so that we could get through this as much as we could. I really wanted to have them kind of merged together. So for example, some kinder teachers with some of the first grade teachers and some of the SLL teachers, so that more conversation could occur of how they do it in kinder versus how they do it in first. So for example, with the turn and talk of how often, also when thinking about lesson planning, and then with their turn and talk of how they incorporate it and the completion of the Jamboard. Although these were all successful pieces in the PD, I really think that had I gone with my initial plan to mix up the teams instead of having them sit by grade level, it would have allowed for more conversation and more vertical examples to occur. And again, not that it didn't happen, not that it wasn't successful. These are just things that, because of time constraints, I did have to remove. We didn't get to go over as many of the Jamboard examples, and I didn't get to allow as much time for the Jamboard completion as I would have liked to because of time constraints. Because what you noticed is, again, I just kind of summed up and I recapped the different things that were on that Jamboard. And I think had we not started late and the teachers were able to share it out more and share, this is what I mean by this, or this is what happened, that was the original plan, because I think it's better when teachers hear it from other teachers and it's easier to incorporate. But again, we know things happen and we think quick on our feet and we make these adjustments. And this was just another adjustment that had to be made. Same with the examples. We tried to go through them as quick as possible. And same with the math walkthrough look force. We know that walkthroughs are about to come up, and I would have liked to have gone more in depth with this because we started late. This was just something that kind of got pushed in at the end. I would have liked to have gone more in depth and tied it back into what they were doing originally with that math problem. So again, we know things happen, we know things occur. I just wanted to do this follow-up video so that you were aware of what I had to take out and remove due to the time constraints, because like I said, we had some incidents on the campus this morning. I'm going to stop sharing and then I am done. Thank you so much.